Now children, this video will calculate electric field intensity due to infinite long straight uniformly charged wire. Right? This is very important question. So this is infinitely long straight wire is given to you. And this wire is uniformly charged. This wire is uniformly charged with the charge Q. We have to calculate the value of electric field intensity at a point due to this charge. Uniformly charged, infinite wire. So what we do, if we suppose these are the two elements, this is infinite long. So we are taking these two elements as P1 and P2. These are small element out of this infinite long straight wire which is uniformly charged. These are the two elements. And this is the arbitrary center. Arbitrary center means the assumed center from this infinitely long straight wire. At this point P, this is a point P, I will write this later on, which is at a distance R from this infinitely long straight uniformly charged wire. We have to calculate electric field intensity. Now due to this element, the electric field intensity will be outward this way. Due to this element, electric field intensity will be in this way outward. Right? Now if this electric field intensity E1 and E2 is resolved horizontally, this is the horizontal component, this is the vertical component of this is the horizontal component, this is the vertical component. This is your point P, this point is your P. At this point we have to find out the net electric field intensity. So what will happen? These horizontal components or the components which are normal to this point will be cancelled out. Net electric field intensity will be radially outward. This will be radially outward, right? So, or you can say it will be due to the vertical component, the net sum of the vertical component. Now, if we suppose a Gaussian surface around this point P, right, in the form of cylindrical surface, in the form of cylindrical surface around this point, of length L, this cylindrical surface around the point which we are considering, this is a cylindrical surface out of this infinite the Gaussian cylindrical surface we are considering of length L. Let lambda be the linear charge density. Lambda be the linear charge density. This total charge which is given to this, we can assume it as capital Q. So the charge on this length L, we can take it as Q. So what will be the linear charge density? Lambda equals to Q by L, or Q will be equals to lambda L. So this will be the charge on this length of the cylindrical Gaussian surface. Right? Now three surfaces will contribute in the flux. This is first, second, and this is the third. You can take this area as ds. Now this is the center point which we already taken. This is your O, this is your R. So if you see from here, all this distance remains the same. Either you take from this side or you take from this side. The distance from this uniformly long straight wire around the cylindrical surface remains the same, that is R. This is the point P, right? And what is the net direction of electric field? It is this. So this is the third surface. So three surfaces will contribute in the flux. The circular surfaces and the curved surface. Now if I say I take this first surface, area vector will be in outward direction. You can write this as ds vector. Unit vector is in outward direction. Electric field will be this way. What is the angle between area vector and this? That is 90. Same thing will exist here. Area vector in outward direction. This is the direction of electric field. Unit vector also in outward direction. So what is the angle this? 90 degree. Now here if you see the area vector, this I will take ds only, or ds dash you want, you can write it, or let it be ds only, doesn't make any difference. This will be in outward direction. You want to change the symbol, you can write it as s dash, no problem. So these three surfaces will contribute in the flux. And you know what is a Gauss law? Gauss law states that the total electric flux coming out of an enclosed surface enclosing a charge Q is equal to the product of charge multiplied by 1 upon epsilon. Right? Now out of this entire long straight wire, we have taken this as a Gaussian cylindrical surface of length L. This is enclosing charge Q out of capital Q. So what will be the value of net flux which will come out of this Gaussian surface? Phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3. Right? And you all know, children, what is flux? If I take phi 1, surface integral E dot ds, or phi 1 equals to, I can write E ds cos theta. Now for this and this first surface is contributing the flux phi 1, this you can take phi 2, this you can take phi 3. So what is the angle between E and ds? 90. So what will happen to this part? EDS cos 90. So this part will become 0. So this surface will not contribute in any of the flux. Similarly, this surface phi 2 EDS cos 90. So this too will not contribute in the flux. So only the third curved surface will contribute in the flux. And what will be the value of this phi 3? E dot ds, EDS cos 0, because area vector and E electric field both are in the same direction. Cos 0 is 1, so phi 3 will be, E could be taken out. ds, what is the area of this curved surface, of this cylindrical Gaussian surface? This is pi r square, this is pi r square, this is 2 pi r h, the curved surface. So this will become E into 2 pi r, in place of h, you will be taking length of this cylindrical Gaussian surface. So what will be the net flux? This is 0, this is 0, this we got E into 2 pi r. You can give this equation first. Now, according to Gauss law, Gauss's law, phi is equals to surface integral E dot ds. This you already taken, equals to Q upon epsilon naught. This Q is the charge enclosed in this cylindrical Gaussian surface. And what is the value of this Q? Which we have already calculated, that is lambda L. So put it here. Lambda L upon epsilon naught. This is equation second. So equate this flux to this. What will we get? E into 2 pi RL equals to lambda L upon epsilon naught. L to L cancel. What is the value of E? Lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught R. Again see, 1, 2, 3 and this is 4. 1, 2, 3 and this is 4. So this is the value of electric field intensity at a point due to a uniformly charged straight infinite long wire. E is equals to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught R. So what does this indicate? This indicates E is inversely proportional to R. Inversely proportional to R. And remember, if lambda is greater than 0 means it's a positive. In this case, electric field intensity will be radially outward. It will be radially outward. If I say lambda is less than 0, negative, electric field intensity will be radially inward. So remember children, this part is very, very important. Right? There are 2-3 more applications, and this is one of the applications of Gauss law, where we are calculating electric field intensity due to infinite long straight uniformly charged wire. And what is coming out to be equals to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught R, where lambda is your linear charge density, epsilon naught electrical permittivity, R is the distance at which the electric field intensity is being calculated. Clear?